cho con kiểu này.
Mẹ nó vẫn tức
Mà
ta
phô bạ nhất đây nữa mà lâu trong cái gì.
May 20th to 21st, 2026. Heavy rainfall affected parts of Guangdong Province and Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region in southern China, leading to localized flooding, transport disruption, urban waterlogging, and increased risk of flash floods and landslides. The event occurred during unstable atmospheric conditions across southern China, where repeated rain systems brought sustained precipitation to multiple provinces. Guangdong and Guangxi were among regions under monitoring by meteorological and emergency authorities. During this period, weather agencies issued warnings for heavy rain, intense downpours, mountain flood risks, river swelling, and geological hazards. Saturated soil from earlier rainfall increased runoff, so additional rain quickly produced surface flooding in vulnerable areas. Authorities advised caution in low-lying urban districts, mountainous regions, and river-adjacent communities. In Guangdong Province, persistent rainfall triggered localized flooding in several towns and urban districts. Drainage systems in some areas were temporarily overwhelmed, causing water accumulation on roads, residential streets, and commercial zones.
Cây lên xí cái này đại sai, hung hung bị dài à, đéo đẻ má cả hỏi này, lên phát triển kia chấm đó đó, đéo đặc chấm nó nói, lên xí cái chấm thầy.
Transport networks experienced delays as sections of roads became partially or fully submerged. In Dechongtown, floodwater inundated streets after heavy rain intensified over a short period. Reports and visual documentation showed vehicles struggling through deep water, while some smaller transport units became immobilized. In some locations, floodwater rose quickly enough to restrict pedestrian movement, forcing residents to wait for assistance or move to higher ground. Emergency response teams were deployed in affected areas. Rescue operations used inflatable boats and coordinated evacuations in flooded zones. Some individuals were reported stranded due to rapidly rising water, requiring direct intervention by emergency personnel. Authorities prioritized evacuation of vulnerable residents and monitoring of flood-prone zones. Beyond flooding, Guangdong faced secondary risks such as slope instability and potential landslides in hilly areas. Continued rainfall increased soil saturation, raising concerns about ground stability and debris movement. Authorities maintained alerts and monitored forecasts closely. In Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, heavy rainfall contributed to rising river levels and localized flooding, especially in mountainous and rural areas. Guangxi's terrain makes it sensitive to flash flooding during prolonged rain events. Authorities issued warnings regarding flash floods, river overflow risks, and landslides. Rural roads and river crossings were particularly vulnerable, as runoff could turn small streams into fast-moving channels. Emergency agencies remained ready for evacuation and rescue operations in high-risk zones. One serious incident involved a vehicle accident in Guangxi during heavy rain. A pickup truck carrying agricultural workers encountered flood conditions near a low bridge in Huanjiang, Maonan, Autonomous County. The vehicle entered dangerous floodwaters, prompting a large emergency response involving search and rescue teams. Rescue operations included divers, boats, sonar equipment, and coordinated search efforts. The incident highlighted the dangers of traveling through flood-prone roads during intense rainfall, especially near river crossings where water rises rapidly and reduces visibility and traction.
Thái đảo thấu. Nè.
ร้านจะถึงหัวก็มั่นใจแล้วก็จ้าฟังเบิ่ง
The flooding in Guangdong and Guangxi was part of a wider southern China rainfall pattern, affecting multiple provinces in mid-May 2026. Meteorological conditions included sustained moisture transport and repeated storm systems, resulting in prolonged rain. Impacts varied by locality, but placed pressure on drainage systems and emergency response capacity. In Guangdong, the Pearl River Delta region experienced heightened runoff pressure due to dense urban development and interconnected waterways, feeding into larger river channels. Rapid surface accumulation in low-elevation districts increased strain on drainage infrastructure and required pumping and monitoring in certain zones. In Guangxi, tributaries connected to major river systems, such as the Li River Basin, contributed to rising water levels in rural and semi-urban areas, increasing flood sensitivity across multiple counties. Local authorities in both provinces coordinated emergency response, including traffic control, temporary road closures, deployment of rescue teams, and hydrological monitoring. Power supply stability and transportation logistics were also observed in flood-affected zones to reduce secondary disruption risks.
2026年5月20号凌晨，现在正在去救一个奶奶。
哟。
Authorities continued monitoring weather through May 21st. Even as some floodwaters receded, the risk of renewed flooding remained due to saturated ground and further rainfall potential. Overall, the May 20th to 21st flooding in Guangdong and Guangxi showed how southern China's dense population and varied terrain can respond quickly to intense rainfall events, requiring coordinated emergency management across local and provincial levels. Thanks for watching Severe Weather, where we break down the facts behind nature's most intense moments. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel going. Hit the bell so you never miss a real, calm, and clear report. See you in the next one. Stay informed, stay safe.
Oh!